Hi, this is Judy. I'm Judy in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my cranberry orange oatmeal cookies. The recipe comes straight out of my cookbook, Secrets of a Professional Baker, and this is a cookbook that I wrote after I sold my bakery bistro. And these are cookies that I used to make on a routine basis around the holidays, and they really went over well. I want to share it with you. If you're interested in the cookbook, you can obtain it from the link I've got on the screen. I'll also have this recipe in full that you can download or print out on my blog, judyklee.com, and you can also get it off of my website as well. Now I'm going to be making just half of the recipe, but the full recipe will be available to you to print out online. And we're going to start with 1 stick or 4 ounces of butter, and you notice we want the real thing. We want butter. Butter, butter, butter. Real butter. That's the only way your cookies are really going to taste fabulous. And I want a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And you can see I'm going to make these in my stand mixer. You don't have to do it that way. You can mix it by hand, but your batter is going to come out a lot more smooth and mixed a lot better if you do it with a stand mixer. So I'm going to cream these together and then we'll be right back. Alright, you can see how my ingredients have blended together really well. Now we're going to add some other ingredients to this. I have 1/2 teaspoon of dried orange zest. This is going to help to give it that wonderful orange flavor. Now I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Carefully here. And then 1/2 teaspoon of orange extract. You want really good flavoring extracts too. Anytime you're making baked goods and cookies, you want to have extracts that are really going to taste well. And then I'm going to add 1 egg. And now we're going to return to the stand mixer and blend these ingredients together really well before we add the dry mix. Alright, you can see this mixture has blended together really, really well. And now we're going to add some of the dry mixture. Now, in this bowl I have 5 ounces, which is equivalent to 1 cup of all-purpose unbleached flour. And I also have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon in there. And I'm just going to lightly mix it together. And then I'm going to add it to my liquid mixture there. And I'm going to go back to the blender, or back to the stand mixer, and mix these together. Then I'm going to quickly mix in some oats. Now you can use regular oats, old-fashioned oats, or the quick oats. These are the old-fashioned. I have 1.5 cups here, and then I have 1/2 cup of sweetened dried cranberries. We're going to use these instead of the raisins. And I'll show you what this batter is going to look like, or the dough is going to look like, as soon as it's all blended together. Alright, I've got my cookie dough all mixed together, and you see it's formed kind of a little ball, which is nice. Now, I'm going to use a cookie scoop here. This happens to be a number 40. You can use pretty much whatever size you need, but you would have to adjust the baking time accordingly. And I'm going to scoop these out on here and just leave it in a nice little ball. You don't have to have a cookie scoop. You could just use a tablespoon, something like that, or eyeball it, however you want to do it. And I'm just going to place these on the sheet, and I've got my oven preheating at 350, and then I'm going to allow these to bake for 11 to 12 minutes until they're slightly underdone. You want these to be slightly underdone, and they will finish cooking as they are removed from the oven, because the pan is going to be hot, and it will actually allow these cookies to continue to bake for another minute or 2. So you want them slightly underdone so that they don't come out overly crispy and dry on you. And I will show you what these look like when they are baked. My cookies are baked and oh, it smells so good in here. I got 23 cookies out of that half batch, which is really pretty good. Let me encourage you to give this recipe a try. It's perfect for the holidays. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Happy baking!